Okay, now it's finally in place. Had to make some inner chain from this rim wheel from the other side to hit this side, and 5 times, and the rest of this chain can be in here. And well, this cannot be more tight than it's now. I had to maybe have some tool to make this let's just say simpler way to make tight, and that is why this is like it is now. These small chain links can and will tighten it. So pretty much it's like ready now. It took little time to get it right, and only thing that is worrying me that time will tell how this lock will stay in there. Will it spin open and so on, but this is only place this hook's head, or I mean this. Well, I can show you, and here it does. Hear it out. Small plunk did here. But otherwise, and also the front side, same thing. There might be something that I can do to prevent that, doing that hitting, but now pretty much this is all tightened so much that even the free play at the middle chain is somewhat my fist amount. So pretty good, I think. And you can see here I can lift this by hand, and well, not from here measured. This area is not my fist, it's from down, because this whole thing weighs so much that I cannot lift that to fit my fist there. But you can see the free play. From under here I can fit my fist under there. Ooh, yeah. Done is done, and I will try this without welding those steel parts, because if something is that I have to change, I can do it still. But now it won't fall, and it won't maybe move much, and if it does not do anything bad, I just weld those side chains, and I will leave that one link open, that I can open this middle chain. But now it is like so that it won't open itself up, at least how much I mean, no matter how much I did these rollings. I must maybe make some iron wire to secure that one link in the place, that it won't hit all the time. But I will leave it now like it is. I have to make some adjustments anyway, so it can hold there. So now this tire with a bottlet jack and all things, so I will keep you updated. See you soon. Alright, here's the second chain in the place, and very soon I'm at least trying to do test drive, but not just yet. Okay. Here is basically same thing. There is one fistful of free play under the chain and this tire. And now there is this side chains that goes from this inner side to this outer side. And I hope it will keep this shape in place. There is still some spots that need to have some chain movement to like get this thing much more like it should be. But I have to remember that as this prototype are now soon we tested, we will see what kind of movement this does. One thing is very certain, this is very loud, like metal clanking. Well, of course, when you are driving with the chains, it's obvious, but we will see how what kind of sound this is letting out. I just want to find any weak points that I could check out. But basically, if there is any that extent that it will make this shape to change. Oof. But one thing is for sure, this was way much more easier to put on that I did know what I'm doing now. Yeah, I have to admit this probably is not very pretty easy or anyway. I hope only thing that it's functional and well of course with these big links 13 millimeters thick chain you cannot do at least this small change very easily. that they fit just like those that are 8, 7 or 6 millimeters thick chain. Even my side chains are bigger than the main one that should be in this like, which is like this this that does the work, let's just say that way. Well, it's there. Now I probably clean up my tools a little bit and start to do this test driving within this field. I'm not going anywhere that has hard surfaces like my yard. But yeah, I will be back. Works like a charm, but you might heard already those few clonks that was an indication that there is this locking, that screw that will hit that middle this mod cover, but I can change the angle of that and I will get rid of that noise after that. But let's go to do some test driving now with you. Let's see how this thing performs. That clunking was my forks. Well, it's not perfect, but little bit at a time I will get there. Sideways jumping little bit more than usual, at like hard surfaces, but in this much more softer it is not jumping that much. Of course, this is a trade-off. It won't be so pleasant to drive with these chains, but I'm not driving anywhere fast, so basically I can handle that trade-off. With the better traction now, I don't get stuck nearly as easy as only the rubber tires. Not driving down there all the way, but somewhere here, anyway. This is the place where I did want to do this testing. Little bit mess, if you remember the excavator case. and I have to come sometimes to get down there and find that sand pit. At least much more traction than before. And of course I had to make my chains very dirty, that now that I have to weld them. But no matter. If this test go okay, then I know I can weld these chains. At least the chains are where they should be. With both sides. This road was let's say road was extremely hard to get through with my excavator, because it had that one broken hose and so on. always dangerous to drive in the woods, no matter if you have a chainsaw or not, because every single stick or maybe even a rock can do to your machines some damage, I mean. I think the test was success. And now when I'm cleaning these chains, I can see if there is any weak spots that I have to reinforce or nothing broken this time. With the higher speeds this starts somewhat jumping. Nothing unusual to expect. And this is what I mean when something is somewhat moving around. So basically, at least I have seen 2 places that has somewhat. Top one is okay, this is somewhat bad, and next one. So this middle section need to have some kind of tightening that way, and somewhat here also, few more perhaps. This second copy version of my chain. Well, let's just say it is performing much better than the original. But hey, this is not prototype 1. That one is. This is not. So this is second version. But yeah, that place where we did go through was the extreme version of what I can expect from my like these. Well, the area itself and the surfaces, and also those small roads that I can do with my other machines. But basically now I have a tool to go through that same place without getting stuck. I'd say pretty successful change, even though they are somewhat overkill. But they are necessary. But now I know, because this machine is staying in a place, I can see where I have to make these repairs. And I will use those side small chains that will get that right. Only thing that I might get out of that, why it's doing that, is because of that these chains are not small enough, let's just say that way. But if I'm getting that performance out of this, when we are very golden, yeah, this is how you make your own chains and basically save some money. Only thing what I did have to pay is the electrical bill and my own time, nothing more. And maybe some self-respect, because I might even think that many people will say, what an idiot. But you have not seen my struggles with these machines at the place where we just came through. And now I did not struggle like none. It just fly through. No matter if there's mud, clay, stones around, bigger or smaller, wood, like nothing was making my machine to get stuck. Few times I used that differential lock, but it's a basic instinct, because if you are getting stuck, you do not have time to, roll your tires, because the chances you are getting stuck is raising by the second. So that's why if you are not using the differential lock, you basically screw yourself up. No, well, your machine, if nothing else. I'd say nice for my own design. But anyway, let's see what I'm I'm welding and cleaning that chain and making that go right. But anyway, I'm not showing that. That is just small things that I have to do and adjust. But anyway, we will see what I'm coming up next. So hopefully did you like this little project, but well, I have to do what I have to do. So this is what I am, and hopefully you like to follow me to see all kind of idiotic things that I'm come up with my small head, ape mind. Anyway, see you in next videos. Bye bye.